believed everything you read in the papers, you'd think that the Christian church was in terminal decline and about to log off permanently. Well, over the last few weeks, I've discovered that up and down the country there are hundreds of examples of Christians finding new ways of worshipping God and sharing their faith. It seems that everywhere there's this exciting new energy and creativity. So over the next 30 minutes or so, I'd like to tell you about some of those stories, including stories about people who are reaching out to those who wouldn't normally feel comfortable as part of a more traditional congregation. There's a brand new coffee shop in the North Staffordshire town of Kidsgrove. Most of the time it looks just like any other cafe, but in fact it's a centre for mission and for worship. It's all the idea of the local Methodist church and its evangelism enabler, Ashley Cooper.
Taste and See really began about 18 months ago with 4 of us sat around a table in a back garden looking at the churches of our town and asking the questions, why aren't there any 20s, 30s, 40s, people of our own age group in the churches, and any of the churches in the town really? And we started to ask the question, how do we encourage those folk to come into our church? And we fairly quickly realised it was the wrong question. And we then started to ask the question, how can we create church in that environment? What would it feel like to do and be church in the coffee culture?
As soon as we opened, we had varied clientele, from parents with small children, young men on their own. There's a real cross-section of people. And just to be able to mention that it's a church, to see the look on the face, is amazing, because they can't believe that something like this belongs to a church.
We're going to begin as we watch a video. The video is entitled Offering. God is calling us on a journey. We don't know where we're heading, but we know we're heading with Him, and we're trying to take with us as many as possible. If you ask me where we will be in 12 months' time, the honest answer is I don't know. We're on a sharp learning curve. We feel like we're on a roller coaster ride and God is just taking us. All we are trying to be is obedient to what God is calling us to do. And that's a very exciting but a scary place to be.
When Christians in Hinckley decided they needed a viable alternative to traditional church, they decided to try something completely different. Now, a school and a local pub are the places where people come to worship and to learn.
The sort of people who come to the bridge and are attracted by what we do and the way that we do the bridge are folks who perhaps don't have any contact with church at all. People often come and they are surprised by how, I suppose, really almost traditional it can be.
Not been here before.
It will involve the children right at the very beginning, which often can be pretty wacky and pretty lively. They then leave for their own activities, and we go into a time where actually as adults we begin to look at a particular issue and focus on what the Bible might be saying about something. That, if you like, in a way is only the tip of the iceberg. Actually what goes on underneath, the remaining 90% of the iceberg, is really important.
For anyone who wanted to set up something like the bridge in their town, I would say just keep it simple and laid back, and eat together, talk together, pray together.
Okay, yeah, we've made mistakes, we've got dirty, muddy, disillusioned and fed up, but I know that I'd rather stand before God when the final day comes and say, I tried, than to have sat and been comfortable and to have never tried in the first place.